I want to know, like, tell me more about the story, because I'm sure there's so much that I don't even know, even about the evolution of the name, because I love Awaken Inside. We know the power of personal development, the power of actually internal work more so than external, but how they all go together.
Yeah, great question. So the summarized short story was growing up, super athletic kid, heavily involved in sports, um, definitely on the leaner side. In fact, when I first started kind of my true health and fitness journey in the gym with weightlifting and stuff like that, which of course at that time I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I was about 155 pounds soaking wet at about 5'11", 6 foot roughly. So
Wow.
when I peaked, I was right there, and it was just about muscle gain through all these years. But as I started getting into my journey, learning more through that trial and error process, and seeing the growth physically, I knew that this was going to be a huge part of my life. And I had dreams of opening up my own gym someday. Didn't really know when that would be, or if, because, a lot of times that belief isn't always there, even when we do have dreams. And I just kept chugging along. And what I found out over the last 15, now 16 years of being on that journey and that growth physically was I had unlocked a ton in here, and really cultivated a lot of stuff internally with my mindset, with how I operated in life, what sort of moral standard and compass that I held myself to. A lot of that, of course, was a foundation in Jesus Christ, but at the time, that wasn't always like a huge. It wasn't at the forefront. Just being completely honest. I mean, I grew up Roman Catholic, and that foundation was built, but it wasn't always. Didn't really feel intentional at times. It felt a lot like I was kind of just checking the box. So when it came time that I wanted to pull the trigger on building the gym and having this amazing community that I built over the last 2 years, a lot of it that went into the name and the branding was I didn't know at the time what I was doing by cultivating the physical, that the mental and the spiritual would get that much more flourished and that much more boosted throughout the entirety of my journey. And it was always there. It was just something that I had to quote unquote awaken, right? So
Yes.
I think it's just a testament to really everybody listening to the show and out there, that whether they're an entrepreneur, an intrapreneur, or don't even work, there's always that potential inside of you that you just have to unlock, that you have to awaken. And a lot of it comes from doing the physical actions day in and day out, so that you can build that self-confidence and belief, and establish, a closer relationship with God if you're not there yet.
That's so profound. I don't think I've heard it said in the sense of like understanding that before you even know, the belief is there that something is going to change based in your actions and obedience, right? And
Mm,
I don't think a lot of people perceive it that way. They're so focused on the right now, which I'm working every day to be the most present version of myself. I think that's awesome. But I also have a lot of goals. I'm a huge visionary. I'm constantly in the creative space with the Lord.
right.
And so it's easy for me to operate as my future self today. But there's also this whole like stripping away of who I used to be in order for
Mm,
me to get to be that person. And this is
so good.
hugely connected to our physicality, right? Like, oh my gosh,
Right.
you can no longer be 155 pounds soaking wet. If you see Eric, if you're watching this, then you know he's not. He's two something. We can go there if you want. But he is buff, y'all. He's like in the gym. His gym is a weightlifting gym. It's awesome. The brand is on point. The entire concept when you go in, I can't believe I just went for the first time recently. And I'm like, wow, this place is huge inside. But you've got to go to his social media, because he's talking about this very thing on a regular basis. This isn't just, oh, I'm on a podcast, let me just tell you this really cool thing. This is what he's
Mm,
living out day to day.